prepared for it. Got the suitcase ready, made sure I had my visa, made sure I had my passport, made sure I had enough money with me, and then I went on the journey. Today I've come here, and what I did is I picked up something that I could read on the way, and I came. That was all that I needed to prepare. If I had prepared vice versa, just picked up something and jumped on the plane, you would have thought, oh, this guy's crazy. If I had prepared for 2 weeks for my journey to London today, you would have said, you know, this guy's got his priorities upside down. He's only going for give a talk and he's coming straight back. You would think, if I had done it the other way around, that this guy, there's something wrong with him. He's got his priorities upside down. Now let me ask you a question. How long are you going to live in this dunya, and how long are you going to live in the hereafter? You prepare for the dunya according to the amount of time that you are going to live in this dunya, and you prepare for your journey in the hereafter according to the time that you are going to live in the hereafter. And Umar radiallahu anhu would say that I looked into the matters of the dunya and I looked into the matters of the hereafter, and I realized that if I engage myself in the dunya, then that would be detrimental to my hereafter. And if I engage myself in the hereafter, I would have to give up some dunya. So I gave preference to that which was eternal, everlasting, over that which was temporal. And like I would be a fool to prepare for 2 weeks for this journey to London, we are also foolish who make the dunya our maqsad and forget our eternal journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Upon occasion, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu came into the gathering of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and Umar radiallahu anhu looked around the house of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he only saw a few provisions. And then the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sat up from his mat, and the mat had left imprints on the back of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Umar radiallahu anhu began to cry. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Oh Umar, why are you crying for?" And Umar radiallahu anhu said, "Oh Messenger of Allah, have you not seen in what pomp and what glory the Caesar and the Kisra live in, the Persian and the Roman emperors live in? And you are the greatest of creation sallallahu alayhi wa sallam." And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when Umar radiallahu anhu said this, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sat upright, and he said, "Oh Umar, have you even not understood? Have you not understood that my example is like a person who takes shade under a tree and then he moves on?" And that's what believers are like. That we live in this dunya temporal for a short period of time, but what happens? We make the dunya our maqsad, we make this our maqsad, and we forget the hereafter. Have you ever been to the graveyard and have you seen how long people live for? Have you ever seen the tombstones? What do they say? They say 1825, 1850, 1900. You realize that these people have spent more time under the ground than above it. But what happens? Subhanallah, we get impressed by the now, the dunya. We get impressed by ourselves. So everything, makes us think that we are something special. Although we forget that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us from dust, and until dust that you will return. And how can dust, I ask you, how can dust become haughty? How can you become proud when you are dust? How can you become proud when you were made out of a piece of sperm? But the now impresses us, so we get impressed by the clothes that we wear. We get impressed by the way that we walk. So you walk with a step, and you're impressed about yourself. And you think now you are something special. Your trousers are halfway down your backside, and you get impressed. Because this is the level that the Muslims have come to. And there was a time when the Muslims actually had a goal. They had a vision. Little issues did not concern the Muslims. Things like walking didn't concern them. Muslims walked with humility, but they walked with a vision, with a direction. Upon an occasion, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu saw a guy walking with a step. So Umar took out his whip and he whipped him. And the man said, "Oh, Amir al-Mu'mineen, why did you whip me for?" He said, "Because the way you were walking haughtily." And he said, "I can't help it. I'm naturally a bad boy." So Umar took out the whip and he whipped him again. And Umar radiallahu anhu said, "That is nothing besides shaitan." And 6 months later, this young man came to Umar radiallahu anhu and he said, "Oh, Amir al-Mu'mineen, you were right. It was nothing besides shaitan." But you see, youngsters, the way they talk, the way they walk, it impresses them, because that's what society tells them. And they get impressed by themselves because that is the norm within society. And you even see this in many people who are even practicing. Besides saying MashaAllah, Subhanallah, a few sprinkled words, the character is exactly the same. There's no humility. But this is it. See, when you don't have a maqsad, when you don't have tarbiyah, this is what happens. I ask you, how can a person, a Muslim who has haya, wear his trousers halfway down his backside and get impressed by himself? Because you have no vision. You have the real role models, like the Sahaba radiallahu anhum are no longer our role models. Allah to them was real. The hereafter to them was real. They had a truth belief in it. They knew that they would leave this dunya. Upon occasion, Isa alayhi salatu salam, he was on a journey, and a man wanted to go with him on this journey. So Isa alayhi salatu salam allowed him to go on this journey. And whilst they're going on this journey, Isa alayhi salatu salam told this man, he said, "Go and buy 3 chapatis." So this man goes and he buys 3 chapatis, and he thinks, hold on, there's only 2 of us, what's the 3rd chapati about? So he eats the 3rd one. So he comes to Isa alayhi salatu salam, and Isa alayhi salatu salam asked him, he said, he opens it and he said, "Where's the 3rd one?" He said, "There was no 3rd one." He said, "There was no 3rd chapati?" He said, "No, there was no 3rd chapati." So they're going on the journey, and they come past the goat, and Isa alayhi salatu salam buys the goat, and then he makes dua to Allah. And what Allah does is that all of a sudden that same goat, it sacrifices all by itself. Then it's skinned all by itself. And then it's cut into pieces all by itself. And then it begins to roast all by itself. And this man standing there goes, "Subhanallah." So MashaAllah, you are a true Nabi of Allah. So Isa alayhi salatu salam asked him, "I ask you by the one who did this, where is the 3rd roti?" And he said, "Wallahi." He said, "Wallahi, billahi, tallahi, kasme." There was no 3rd roti. So they go on to a journey and they reach a river and they want to go across the river. But there is no boat. So Isa alayhi salatu salam hits the bank of the river with his staff, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes the river part. And this man is shocked, and he says, "Subhanallah, MashaAllah, you are a true prophet." And Isa alayhi salatu salam asked him, "I ask you by the one who did this, where is the 3rd roti?" And he said, "Wallahi, billahi, tallahi, kasma, there was no 3rd roti." So then they carry on the journey and they reach this sandy area, and Isa alayhi salatu salam sat down. And when Isa alayhi salatu salam sat down, he took some sand and he made 3 heaps out of the sand. And then he made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed that sand into gold. And Isa alayhi salatu salam said, "This one for me, this one for you, the 3rd one for the one who ate the 3rd roti." And he said, "Kasma, it was me." So Isa alayhi salatu salam said, "You go your way, I go my way." And he's sitting there, he's elated, he's got the dunya. He's got the dunya, what he wanted, his maqsad in life. How many people do you see today who lose track of the akhirah because of the dunya. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا وَمَنْ زُحْزِيَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ. He says, that person who has been removed from the fire and entered into Jannah, فَقَدْ فَازَ. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. And then directly after that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, but you know the dunya, it's deception, it's goods of deception. Why? Because Allah, the Khaliq, the Malik, knows that the vast majority of people who lose track of life, track of their destination, track of the hereafter is due to the dunya. So Allah said, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. That the dunya is just goods of deception. But what we make the dunya, we make it our maqsad.